Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe classics, Lord Dactus. That's right, it's time for some more representation from the 2000X Mike Young Productions cartoon series. Lord Dactus comes in the standard Masters of the Universe classics blister card packaging. The back of that box shows off a selection of other figures in the classics line, as well as gives us a brand new bio for Dactus. Now you may have noticed that Lord Dactus is not wearing his armor in the packaging. That's because the figure is so massive that he barely fits inside that standard blister card. So upon opening him, you'll have to put on his armor and attach the wings to his back. Once done, you'll notice that this figure is quite a bit taller than your standard Masters of the Universe Classics figure. He's almost a full head taller. This is because his head features an extra neck piece to elongate it, and his legs feature brand new feet that also lengthen his legs. It's quite impressive to see how these extra pieces were added to the standard male buck and still work so wonderfully to create the impressive design of Lord Dactus. His head sculpt is incredibly well done, with a nice two-tone blue paint job and a look on his face that, while monstrous, still shows a bit of a heroic nature. Lord Dactus is on the good side after all. He's also sporting new hands that we've not seen before, one more open and the other one clenched for holding his included weapon. The armor that he's wearing is sort of a rusty red color with some nice metallic highlights in places. And on his back are the awesomely detailed wings that we first saw on figures such as Drago Man and Granomir. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Lord Dactus here. Now, this guy is huge, and there's a lot of cool things going on with him, so let's go ahead and check all that out. Let's go ahead and start with the articulation on this particular guy. Same stuff with the head. Always can turn left, right, up and down. It's on that nice ball joint there. Even though you can see he's on an extended neck, so he's got a nice little neck peg there that's a little bit longer than what we usually see with the Masters figures, but that still just kind of clips right onto the ball joint like normal. And then he has the standard articulation even with that added neck piece there. You can see that the shoulder armor can move up and down, so it's flexible, so it doesn't get in the way of the articulation on the arms. You can still move the arms forwards, backwards, up and down, swivels at the bicep, standard joint at the elbow there. You got swivels at the wrist. You got the torso crunch articulation. You got the swivel at the waist. You got the hinge joints at the thighs there, so the legs can move outwards, forwards, and backwards. You got the swivels, standard joints at the knees, and the boot cut articulation there. And then that's going to bring us to these crazy new feet. So basically, the way this works is you can see this leg is the standard leg right here. But instead of having a foot at the bottom, we have this new foot piece that's kind of an extended leg, and then the cool little bat-shaped foot right there. So he is shaped a lot different than figures that we've had before. He's kind of got that little bit of a lean going on there, the way that the legs are shaped like that, which is really, really cool. And then those just move up and down like these standard ankles. Now, with that being said, I do have to point out that does cause a little bit of an issue with his balance. Unfortunately, he's got a little bit of an issue with being able to stand up flat. The feet, you have to kind of position them the right way to get the feet flat to keep him standing, but he does definitely have some balance issues because of the way you have to turn his legs, and he's got those big Drago Man Wings on the back, which add a lot of weight, and so you have to find the right way to balance him, or he's just going to topple over. Part of the problem is because those new feet only hinge forwards and backwards. I almost wish that they kind of were able to rock too. It really seems like they should be on some side of a hinge or a rocker because they're these big, wide, flat feet. And if they were able to pivot like this, you'd be able to position his legs, in different stances. But as it is, if you spread his legs out like this, the feet are going to be stuck out like that. I mean, you can't flatten the feet down, which is a bit of a bummer. So that's the only real nitpick I have as far as the articulation goes. It's something that you're going to want to have to watch out for as far as balancing him goes. Now, I mentioned those Drago Man wings. They are the same wings that we saw with figures like Drago Man and Granomir, and they just plug into his back, and they are on nice little joints there, so they can flap, they can move up and down. They just plug into the armor itself. So that armor is what has the holes. It's just like we saw with Drago Man. The holes aren't actually in the buck itself. Another thing worth noting, he's got this tail on the back, but the tail itself is not articulated. It is just part of the pants that he's wearing, basically. The loincloth piece, it's attached to that, so it's not actually attached to the figure, which is a really smart way of actually putting that on there without having to, add to the already existing male buck. But not articulated. It's kind of soft and flexible, just like the loincloth piece is there. And the armor itself can be removed. In order to do that, you do have to pop the head off. And like I said, he's going to come in the package with the armor already off, so you'll kind of get this figured out when you have to put them together. So the armor just detaches just like all the regular armors always have. But this gives you a good look at the figure without the armor on. You can see he's got that kind of extra neck piece there, the extra leg pieces, which make him really tall and a lot lankier than some of the other figures in the Classics line. Lord Dactus includes one accessory, being his sword. It has a really cool design to it, and features a great paint deco matching his armor with a nice silver blade. It's made of a sturdy plastic and fits nice and tight into his right clenched hand. Lord Dactus is a really unique looking character that only appeared in the MYP cartoon series. It's quite impressive to see how he was so wonderfully captured in the Classics line. My only real complaint is the lack of articulation on his feet. I feel ball joints might have helped a little bit in this case, but overall, I still really like this guy. The sculpt is great, and his size is just impressive. He really makes for a great character to add to this lineup. Adding more MYP series characters is really cool. With Carnivus and Randor, we're building ourselves quite the council. Lord Dactus is part of the 2013 Club Eternia subscription and will be available October 15th, 2013 on MattyCollector.com. Until next time,